Hello. One of the first steps to understanding peripheral neuropathy is to understand what the peripheral neuropathy system is. You can't understand a peripheral neuropathy if you don't understand what a peripheral nerve is. So today I'd like to talk to you about that. Hello, I'm Dr. Brandt Gibson, and peripheral neuropathy is one of my loves, one of my favorite things to talk about. And so today we're going to help you understand peripheral neuropathy a little bit better by talking to you about the peripheral nervous system. So to start out, let's jump right into the nervous system as a whole. So when you look at this nervous system, you can see there's a pretty good amount of information here. You've got the central nervous system, which includes the brain and the spinal cord. The brain, we're going to oversimplify the process here, and we're just going to talk about the cerebellum, the cerebrum, brainstem as part of that central nervous system, and then, of course, the spinal cord. Once you get outside the brain, once you get outside the spinal cord, then you have the peripheral nerves. And if you look at this, I mean, all of these nerves, even the nerve to the face, the cranial nerves, the vagus nerve, all the brachial nerves, which are the nerves that go down the arms, much of the nervous system that provides the trunk area, intercostal nerves, subcostal nerves, genitofemoral nerves, lateral cutaneous to the thigh. I mean, all of these nerves are part of the peripheral nervous system. Then, of course, the lower extremity nerves, which is what I work with the most, are all part of this peripheral nervous system. So as you start thinking about, okay, anything that requires a nerve outside of the central nervous system will be peripheral nerves, which means the peripheral nervous system includes all of those nerves. Any of those nerves can malfunction to create a peripheral neuropathy. Let's keep moving here. We're going to jump over here. So the peripheral nervous system is made up of several pieces, several parts. We'll move this over here so I'm out of the way. And this peripheral nervous system includes the voluntary portion of the nervous system and the involuntary portion of the nervous system. The voluntary portion of the nervous system is the somatic nervous system. And the involuntary portion of the nervous system is the autonomic nervous system. Let's start over here in the involuntary. Autonomic nervous system is any of the automatic or involuntary nerves. It includes the sympathetic and parasympathetic sections of the body. Sympathetic, if you remember your high school biology class, they talked about fight or flight and rest and digest. Those are the two different parts of the autonomic nervous system. For fight or flight, basically what the system does is it ramps up ready to get into emergency situation if necessary. So it's going to increase heart rate, increase blood pressure. It's going to focus your eyes so you can actually see a little bit better. And it's going to prepare the muscles to be able to run away. So all of this is happening as part of the fight or flight. When the fight or flight system is malfunctioning, which is commonly what happens with autonomic nervous system, you're going to become short of breath. You're going to be kind of anxious, jittery. All that can be part of this, but it also will shut down some of the functions that are part of the parasympathetic nervous system. Digestion. Your stomach's not going to have the motility that it needs to have. You're going to have a harder time emptying your bladder, a harder time with the intestines and so forth. And so what's going to happen is you start to get abdominal pain and problems because the parasympathetic nervous system isn't working as well if you ramp up the sympathetic nervous system. So autonomic nervous system is the sympathetic, fight or flight, and the parasympathetic, rest and digest. All of those functions. So basically any of the automatic functions of the body are controlled by this system. Any of those functions can also malfunction in a peripheral neuropathy. So the peripheral nervous system really does include that piece. Now let's go back to the somatic nervous system, voluntary portion of the peripheral nervous system. In this case, this is all the sensory nerves and the motor nerves. And when it comes to the sensory nerves, it's any sensation that you're getting from the body. We have the five senses. Any of those sensations will be running through the sensory nervous system to get back to the brain and spinal cord for interpretation. So in that case, you got large fiber sensory nerves, small fiber sensory nerves, and motor nerves, right? The motor nerves oftentimes are a large fiber nerve as well. And what they're doing is controlling the contraction and relaxation of the muscles. The sensory nerves are controlling all those sensations. So they're carrying information back. Motor nerves are typically carrying information too. There are sensory nerves that go to the muscles so that you know what's going on with those muscles, and it also carries that information back. So when it comes to peripheral neuropathy, you need to remember the peripheral nervous system includes the somatic nervous system, or the voluntary portions, large fiber and small fiber sensory nerves, motor nerves, and the autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic and parasympathetic portions of the nervous system. So with this information in hand, you're ready to take the next step, which will be to go into these in a little bit more depth so you can actually say, okay, I understand the nervous system, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. I understand the central nervous system. I understand the peripheral nervous system. And now we'll take each of these pieces of the peripheral nervous system and get into a lot more depth so that you can actually truly walk away with your key foundation so that as you move forward in managing your peripheral neuropathy, you'll understand what that's going to take and how you're going to get there. This is Dr. Brandt Gibson, and this is Neuropathy Nugget Day 359, the peripheral nervous system, to help you get that foundation that you need. If you'd like additional information, or you want to speed up this process, say, okay, I need more information, I want to get better control of my peripheral nervous system, then reach out to us at theneuropathywebinar.com, and you can actually get additional training and also get the steps that it's going to take to truly manage your peripheral neuropathy. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in a while.